todos y bienvenidos a un nuevo vídeo del canal. Estamos aquí de vuelta con Genshin Impact y toca continuar nuestra aventura, en este caso por la bonita misión final del evento de el Tintineo de la Noche, que es algo igual a lo que sería el festival del Rito de la Linterna de 2023. Y bueno, lo primero de todo, vamos un momentito a el tema de fiebre festival, ya que como he pasado en 1200 podemos ya conseguir las 30 protogemas, los objetos decorativos especiales, y en este caso una bonita corona para seguir mejorando personajes, que ojo, que solo tengo 19 por usar, ahí estamos. Bueno, pues esto ya lo tenemos, hemos reclutado en el anterior vídeo a Yao Yao, bueno, anterior vídeo, en uno de los anteriores. Y bueno, si queréis saber cómo completar cada uno de los 4 minijuegos de este evento, en la lista de reproducción o buscáis los 4 vídeos anteriores a este y lo tenéis. Y si queréis ver la primera parte del evento, pues buscáis 5 vídeos, el 418 es donde empezamos con esta maravilla de evento que hoy vamos a concluir. Así que vamos a venir a anécdotas del festival y vamos a seleccionar en este caso Tintineo de la Noche 2. Una balada para un alma irreemplazable. Ganyu y tú acordaron dividirse para buscar pistas sobre la misteriosa mujer de la historia de Dvorak. Por fin llegó el momento de volver a encontrarse con Ganyu y compartir lo que han descubierto. Así que vamos allá y vamos a ver, porque esto, lo que digo, nos dan cositas. Aquí está lo bueno. Y ahora pues vamos a venir por aquí y vamos a hablar un poquito, ¿no?, con Ganyu. Ganyu se encuentra arriba, así que mi consejo, mi recomendación, lo típico, hacemos el TP aquí arriba y desde aquí nos lanzamos like a loco, bros. Vamos a intentar caer en picado, pero bien, ¿eh? Vamos a calcular aquí el viento, el aire y... Ahí estamos. Top. Y lo sabéis. Aquí está Ganyu. ¡Hola! Está sobándose. Se está sobando, ¿eh? ¡Hey! ¿Qué pasa?
Greetings, traveler in Paimon. What time is it?
Are you okay, Ganyu? You were nodding off there. Didn't you sleep well last night?
I'm fine. Don't worry about me. Let's discuss the matter at hand. Since last time, I've been thinking a lot about the story Paimon told me. In essence, someone rescued a drowning man and performed some music. If that were all there was to it, it could have been many people, human or Adeptus. But the tune was allegedly so wonderful that the drowning man forgot about everything else, even his own impending death, and only came to his senses after being brought to shore. Perhaps there was an adeptal power at work in that music that he, as a mortal, could not perceive. Or perhaps he sensed a power surrounding him but lacked the words to describe it, not knowing where it came from.
Vaya.
Either way, if this part of the story is true, then the rescuer has to have been an Adeptus.
You really think so? But this story is all the way from Fontaine. Isn't this a bit of a long shot? Also, Paimon's really curious about how people from Fontaine think this fairy lady looked.
¿Se la imaginarán con alas?
Ooh, like a crystal fly's wings? That would be pretty cool. But Paimon definitely can't imagine any of the Adepti looking like that. Actually, Ganyu, if you had to save a drowning person, how would you go about it?
Vaya.
Huh? Me? Well, I'd get them to the shore, and then I'd probably hide behind a tree and watch them for a while. Once I was sure that they were going to be okay, I'd slip away without a sound.
Ganyu, tan adorable como siempre.
Got it. So basically, Ganyu's the type of person who doesn't like taking credit for her good deeds.
No, it's not like that. I'm just not very good at explaining things. And I also find it really awkward accepting other people's gratitude.
Well, what if this Adeptus in the story had a similar attitude? That would explain why she just left without saying a word. She was probably thinking something like, one was merely passing by and saw fit to address this egregious disruption to one's graceful zithering at once. You may keep your thanks to yourself.
That was actually a very good impression of Cloud Retainer, Paimon. As far as I'm aware, Cloud Retainer isn't the most musically gifted. Still, we can't completely rule her out just yet. If we set off now, we could head to Mount Outsung and ask her about it. You'll be able to confirm either way if it's her, and I can... I've been in Lea Harbor for so long now that I'm just not as familiar with the Adepti anymore. If there's anything we want to know about them, she's the best person to ask.
Sounds great! And we're pretty close with Cloud Retainer by now, so we probably don't even need to bring her food this time, right?
I've prepared a gift for her to mark the festival, just in case. However...
¿Todavía guardas cierta aprensión?
Cloud Retainer spends most of her days studying mechanisms in her abode. She's on her own so much of the time that the moment she has someone to chat with... Never mind. I promised I'd help Mr. Dvorak, and now that I've made the contract, I can't be having second thoughts. Traveler, Paimon, let's set off for Cloud Retainer's abode.
Oh,
seems like this is a tough decision for Ganyu, but she's made up her mind now.
Vamos a ver esto.
That's why she'd be so anxious. Okay, how about this? If Cloud Retainer tries to start telling stories about her again this year, we should pipe up and change the topic. Wait, did she leave already? Hey, Ganyu, wait up!
Ganyu se ha pirado y nos ha dejado aquí con todo el marrón. Vale, aquí está una balada para un alma irreemplazable, el acto 2 del Tintineo de la Noche. Y bueno, parece que esto nos va a llevar al mismísimo monte Aosang. Madre mía, cuánto tiempo. Yo me acuerdo cuando al principio del juego exploraba aquí todo, igual que hago ahora, ¿no? Pero en plan, flipándolo de wow, tío, qué guapo que está esto del Iyue. Me encantó, me encantó. La verdad que todos los puzzles que fui resolviendo desde el principio. Es lo que digo, esto vale que la gente lo usa como guía, otros lo usan para ver gameplay. Pero yo lo veo como mi diario de lo que va a ser mi vida con Genshin Impact, gente, de... Es otro rollo, o sea, es el día a día de lo que hago, cualquier cosa que juego, que me lo divierto, cómo voy consiguiendo los personajes, ver todo eso, a mí me mola bastante, o sea, os lo tengo que decir, Ojo, aquí hay un estanque para pescar, no sabía. Vamos a ver. Punto de pesca... Vamos a ver a nuestra vieja amiga. ¡Hey! ¿Cómo va?
Paimon's so tired from trying to keep up. Don't either of you need to take any breaks?
I can't believe it. Cloud Retainer is not here.
Vaya.
Huh? Did we miss her?
She doesn't like to travel, so in the past, it's always been the other Adepti who come to visit her during the festivals.
Quizás le ha ocurrido algo.
Somehow Paimon doubts that anything could cause serious trouble for her.
True. Now that I think about it, Cloud Retainer would be quite capable of taking care of anything on her own. There's no need to worry about
Pero
that.
hemos venido para nada,
Since she's
Ganyu.
not here, I guess the next step is to check all the other Adepti abodes, one by one.
Uh-oh. Will it involve a lot more traveling?
Pues parece que sí.
Got it! Paimon has a great idea!
Please go on.
Our goal here is to find the Adeptus that helped Dvorak's ancestor, right? We can't hear any music right now, but if she's really as nice as the story suggests, she'd definitely come to help anyone who was drowning, right?
Yes, I think that's fair to say.
¿Qué estáis
So,
planeando?
all we have to do is get the Traveler to pretend to fall into the water, and the Adeptus will come to the rescue.
¿Y por qué no te tiramos a ti al agua, Paimon? Pregunto, así, de chill, de buen rollo, compañera de viaje.
You know perfectly well that Paimon can't
Ah, es
swim.
verdad que no sabe nada.
Paimon would sink like a rock.
La idea no me termina de convencer, pero supongo que no tengo más remedio que intentarlo. Vamos a probar.
Just trust Paimon. The water's pretty deep over there. Quick, swim to the very center.
Dios, la de cosas que tenemos que hacer por nuestros amigos, o sea, poca broma. Vamos a fingir un ahogamiento, gente, o sea, vamos a fingir que nos ahogamos.
Help! Help! Someone's drowning. If only there was a kind-hearted Adeptus here to save us. Oh no! Whatever will a Paimon do?
Ah, pues ha funcionado, ¿no?
What is going on?
Ah, no, es XIAO. Pues nada.
How do you feel right now?
Bueno, 2 Adeptus en vez de 1. Senge y Ganyu.
Shenhe, and the conqueror of demons.
Why don't you say something? Please don't make Paimon explain it.
Madre mía, madre mía. XIAO está en plan de ¿qué has hecho yo?
Okay, fine. Paimon will explain. We're looking for an Adeptus who's good at being a lifeguard and playing music. But if the Adepti aren't gonna stay home, then how are we supposed to find them?
It wasn't me.
Yeah, so this Adeptus is most likely a woman.
And I am not an Adeptus, as you both already know,
eres medio
Traveler
Adeptus.
and Paimon.
Me sirve.
Okay, so this is Paimon's fault.
Que la
No way
cigüeña.
Paimon would have suggested this idea if she'd known how awkward this was gonna be.
Yo estoy bien, aunque he hecho el cuadro.
Glad you're okay.
¿Ya os marcháis? XIAO, tío. Eres mi colega, pero es que eres muy solitario.
As far as I know, the one you seek is no Yaksha. And one last thing. Your actions here caused others a great deal of worry. Do not repeat them again in the future.
Toma ya. Y se va como siempre.
As ever, the conqueror of demons comes and goes, just like the wind.
Right. I didn't dare to say a word just now. How's your training going, Shenhe? Have you made any plans for Lantern Rite? We could spend it together in Liyue Harbor if you...
Oh, I had planned to spend the festival with Master this year.
Oh, speaking of Cloud Retainer, when did you see her last?
Earlier this morning, she set off for Mount Hulao at dawn. I noticed she was using an Adeptus art of some kind to protect a mechanism that looked like a boiler. Maybe it was a gift for Mountain Shaper.
So we just missed her. Please excuse me for a moment. I think I'll leave the gift in her abode.
Sure. Thank you.
It sounds like Ganyu and Shenhe have gotten a lot closer.
Yes. During the summer and winter, I continued to train with Master. In the other months of the year, I have been learning to adapt to human life in Liyue Harbor. Ganyu arranged accommodations for me in the city, and also recommended several work positions for me. But when I try to blend in by referring to her as Miss Ganyu or Lady Ganyu, like the others, she says I mustn't address her like that. Sometimes I'm supposed to copy other people. Sometimes I'm not.
A Ganyu le da
It's a
vergüenza que la
little
llamen
difficult to
señorita.
keep track. Oh, is that what it is? So you came looking for Master today because you wanted to ask her about the Mystery Adeptus.
Yep. Oh, speaking of that, have you ever heard any music while out training in the mountains?
Music?
It's...
Sonido. No se lo expliques, Paimon.
Okay, I'm done. I also left her a note so that she knows where to find us.
Yay! That's really helpful. Thanks!
We were just talking about this thing called music. And based on Paimon's description, I do believe I hear it every day.
Oh, really?
Vamos a ver. De misterio en misterio y tiro porque me toca, gente. Hay que subir arriba, ¿no? Vamos a hacerlo más fácil. De aquí podemos llegar mucho más rápido. ¡Oh! ¡Escala, XIAO! ¡Escala! Y no en daño, precisamente. Ahí está. ¡Hey! A ver, como evento me está gustando muchísimo,
This
poca
is the
broma.
place. I enjoy training here to the sound of music.
Oh no! Paimon's gone deaf! Paimon can't hear anything!
Yo tampoco digo nada, creo que habla de la naturaleza, Paimon, llámame loco.
The faint sound of birdsong, the quiet murmur of the streams. These are relaxing sounds. Are they not the music of which you speak?
Oh, Paimon wasn't quite done with the description. Okay, fine, it's all Paimon's fault. What we're looking for are not the sounds of nature, but melodies played on special instruments.
Oh, and a melody is?
Vamos, Paimon, dedícanos una de tus cancioncitas.
Hey, don't you patronize Paimon! Let's get one thing straight. Paimon knows plenty of nursery rhymes, but Paimon does not sing on demand without payment. Hey, why don't you just sing that one melody Shen has heard before? It'll probably help her to understand what we're talking about.
De acuerdo.
Oh, was that from the opera that Yunjin sang?
That was a melody, and melodies can be called music.
It felt like I was transported back to the past. In my mind's eye, I could see the XIAO lanterns lighting up the night sky again. We're all there, raising our glasses and drinking to our heart's content on the Jade Chamber. As I watched Yunjin's performance, I felt a warm sensation in my heart. And as the drink reached my stomach, it went from warm to hot. When you hummed that melody just now, feelings from a whole year ago came right back to me, as strong as they were on that day. So that's the power of music.
Wow, Shenhe. That was so deep! Music definitely has the power to bring up memories. It's like a time capsule with all the special moments from our lives squished inside. What about you, Ganyu? Are there any melodies that have left a deep impression on you?
I don't remember if my parents ever sang any lullabies to me. I know some local folk songs, and a few other things come to mind too. The songs of the sailors down at the docks, the little ditties that the vendors call out in front of their beloved shops, the tunes of folk artists performing on the streets.
Los sonidos que conforman Liyue.
Yes, that's right. In the past, whenever I heard the sound of those tunes, I always felt that they were worlds apart from me. Many in Liyue probably view me as a non-human. And they are right, in the sense that I never could connect with humans' artistic expression and their sentiments. So I haven't been able to integrate into their community and be a part of their lives. At least, that's the view I held in the past. Only more recently did I start to realize that the only barriers are ones that I have erected with my imagination. The way those melodies make me feel isn't all that different from other people after all. They're about mundane details of everyday existence. Life's ups and downs, joys and sorrows. Even though we come from different backgrounds and have different stories to tell, when it comes down to the most common things that we see and experience around us each day in the city, in that sense, we're all the same.
You go, Ganyu! You're really making progress. You have loads of friends in Liyue Harbor when you think about it. Like, okay, maybe some are more like coworkers and
Paimon, no le digas
bosses. At the
eso.
very least, coaching.
Yes, I am.
Pero-
Technically speaking, we should refer to each other by the conventional forms of address used among fellow disciples. But now that I know what constitutes a friendship,
Thank you,
once the days are warmer, I would like to host you at my home in the city. Please invite Kuching as well. I've planted many types of flowers.
Es verdad
I'm
que
sure some of them
el
will
doblaje en
be to your
inglés,
taste.
al final me lo voy a poner
You are too kind. I
en
couldn't
chino sí o sí,
possibly.
porque de verdad,
Nonsense. You are
o
my
en japo,
friend.
pero es que no
I
está
have
compasado
cultivated and cared
el
for the
doblaje en
flowers
inglés
just as
con,
you taught
el movimiento de la boca
Once
muchas
you've
veces,
seen
¿eh?
them for yourself, I am
Se
sure
nota
you
que son
can
palabras
advise
más
me how to
cortas
do
todo,
an
en vez de
even
que una
better
palabra como
job
el
next
castellano o el
time.
inglés. Ojalá
I
estuviera
will
doblado al
save
castellano,
some
pero
for
no.
decoration. We can feast on the rest.
Then, thank you in advance. Wait,
Do people say that? I'm not completely sure either.
It doesn't matter, okay? You got the point across. No need to split hairs. Paimon's more concerned about your idea of a girls' night out. Eating flowers? Really? Does this have anything to do with you both being the disciples of that illuminated bird?
Yo no me imagino a Genshin rumiando flores, tengo que decirlo.
Who dares refer to one not by one's
Maestra
Adeptus
Grulla, ojo.
title, but merely as that illuminated bird?
Ya la he liado, Paimon.
Master,
our greetings, Cloud Retainer.
Ah! There it is! The illuminated bird has landed!
Double humph. Now she has the gall to use it rather than she, even after being chastised once already. Barely a moment has passed since we last met, and yet your impertinence has reached new heights. One has received your message from Ganyu. On the matter of the Adeptus you seek, one suspects to know their identity. Well, shall one lead the way?
Sería un placer, preservadora de nubes. Guapa.
I still have to complete my training for today, so I will bid farewell to everyone here.
Very well. Await my arrival at one's abode later this night. On this special occasion, you should indulge yourself with some savory dishes.
¡Feliz Rito de la Linterna, Senge!
If you want to release a Xiao lantern, come and find us anytime.
Thank you, everyone. Happy Lantern Rite to you too.
Bueno, pues nada, aquí lo que digo, la historia del lore avanza. Se ha aprendido la cancioncita. Me gusta mucho la voz que tiene Senge, ya he hecho el mono un poco, perdóname. Bueno, vamos a ver. se me va mucho. Vale, vámonos al lugar indicado y a ver qué pasa, ¿vale? Wow, ojo, esto cerca de la llanura Willy. Vamos allá. A eso que vamos. A ver quién es la misteriosa, el misterioso ser. O Adeptus. A ver. ¡Hola!
Is this Quaily Plains? Cloud Retainer, why did you bring us here?
Pregunta importante, Paimon, pero no lo sabemos.
Ganyu is of course familiar with the name Guizhong, but have you ever heard of her?
Tengo la impresión de haberlo oído antes.
Guizhong is another name of Agentis, the god of dust. She was extroverted in nature and adored social gatherings and inventions alike. Long ago, this region was yet a prosperous assembly. Guizhong often invited her friends to visit her home, reserving for us seats around the largest stone table. Seagazer would always bring out his latest treasure and place it upon the table. He could be quite the braggart, though usually a mild-mannered fellow.
Paimon remembers that name. So that's what Seagazer was like.
He was an old friend and a former rival. One has many memories of him.
Vaya.
Once he had brought out the treasure, it would predictably become the center of attention. Neither Guizhong nor one was content to let him just steal the spotlight. So we would then also present our proudest mechanical creations. As Adepti, we were each gifted in our own ways, and naturally proud of our accomplishments in our respective fields of expertise. As a result, one often quarreled with Seagazer. His treasures were not even of his own making. He just used his exploration skills to dig them out of the ground. How, pray tell, could he compare to me?
Cloud Retainer, you are getting competitive again.
Competitiva 100%.
One digresses. Regardless, every time an argument occurred, Guizhong would come over to watch us during our mutual lambastics.
What kind of nonsense?
No kind of nonsense were we spared. Sometimes she would brazenly opine, why argue between yourselves when neither of you could ever hope to beat me? Other times, she would make unsolicited suggestions, such as, once you two are done arguing, let's go to the foot of the mountain and grill some... She always sought to make everyone happy. And one must say, she had quite the gift for it. No matter what nonsense she said, one never felt bothered or offended. It also helped that she never referred to one as that illuminated bird or lady bird.
Pullita para Paimon recibida.
Come on, get over yourself!
Anyway, just as our impassioned arguments would reach the apex of acrimony, Marchosius would bring his delectable dishes to the table. Who would dare snub the stove god and his wondrous creations? At the sight of him, we would all immediately drop the argument and prepare the table for a night of feasting and drinking. Back then, one was always bothered by how the cups Rex Lapis brought were always too square for one's taste. Can you see yourselves ever enjoying a drink from a square cup?
Mientras la bebida sepa bien, yo me lo trago.
Then you are most tolerant. But that is its own virtue. Even one could never find fault with Marchosius's cooking. As we ate, Guizhong would continue to find topics for conversation. Each of those old fossils had their character flaws and points of obstinacy. So why was it that whenever we dined together, we would drink together from a spot high in the mountains, until the moon set and the sun rose, and only then would the banquet finally come to an end. Streetwood Rambler would often remain to admire the flowers with Guizhong before returning to her own abode. The glaze lilies were far more abundant back then.
Streetward Rambler?
That would be Ping. You probably know her as Madam Ping.
Oh, okay. Wait, this is a lovely story and everything, but didn't we come here to find that Adeptus from Mr. Dvorak's story? Or are you saying that it was Guizhong? Didn't she...
Alas, long has one avoided this place for precisely that reason. One should have guessed that you would disrupt one's poignant moment of mourning with your incessant questioning.
Es Paimon.
No matter, one will share the whole story with...
Bueno, cinemática, gente, se viene lo bueno.
In times gone by, one quarreled oft with Guizhong concerning mechanical principles. We each had our ideals, and neither would yield. Under the pretext of a social gathering, one invited the impartial Rex Lapis to judge the quality of our creations. But Rex Lapis declared that Guizhong's obscuro vopus mechanism was superior. Though one was too proud to acknowledge it, in one's heart, one knew that Guizhong was indeed the superior talent in the mechanical arts. As for the story between Guizhong and Streetward Rambler, that begins with a certain bell. In Guizhong's opinion, while mechanisms were no substitute for human composers, they were yet capable of producing simple but fine melodies. But Streetward Rambler believed music to be an expression of the soul, an emotional enterprise that could never hope to be replicated by machinery.
Estas Adeptus tendrían que
They
sacarlas.
argued endlessly, until one asked Rex Lapis to intercede. He confiscated the bell and designated it for ceremonial use. Thereafter, one would often find them convening in the mountains, discussing music, mechanics, and all the affairs of the mortal world.
Oh.
But these good times were not to last. War broke out between the gods, and soon engulfed the Guili plains. Guizhong was overpowered by the enemy, and fell in battle. When Streetwood Rambler and I arrived at the scene at long last, all that remained among the ruins was her lifeless body. After this, at Streetward Rambler's request, Rex Lapis granted her the cleansing bell for safekeeping. To honor our friend's memory, one made a few finishing touches to her ballistic device. Many lantern rites have passed since then. Many greetings and goodbyes. Upon what do you gaze? The Guili Plains?
No. It's everything.
Buah.
We think of human life as like a lantern that's lit one minute and extinguished the next. But are we Adepti so different? Perhaps as dust settles after a storm, we too must one day return to the world below.
Estos vídeos me
One
flipan.
has always been austere and private by nature, and has never relished socializing.
What? You have loads of friends, and you seem pretty chatty.
Just because one is not ignorant of social graces does not mean one is fond of them. One is perfectly capable of partaking in conversation despite being introverted. But in the end, one is nothing like Streetward Rambler. She is dauntless but thoughtful, not to mention eloquent and wise. Moreover, her friendship with Guizhang was far greater than one's own. Back when they were rivals, they would often compete against one another in the realm of musical composition. That cleansing bell was one of Guizhang's proudest works, having the ability to both compose and perform.
Wait, that's weird. Didn't Madame Ping say she pestered an old friend for that bell? And she also said something about being a vain beauty when she was younger.
Streetward Rambler, a vain beauty. My foot. That bell has a sad history. Clearly, she refrained from sharing with you the truth of its origins. As for her old friend, who else could it be? As soon as Streetward Rambler heard that a certain Zhang Li wished to borrow the bell, she realized that the man was none other than Rex Lapis, and that he had made an enormous decision. After all, we all have known each other for several millennia. Some things between us are implicitly understood.
Whoa! So they were talking in secret code? Oh, Paimon did not see that one coming.
Enough of your intrusions. The cleansing bell is powered by a mechanical art, and can be used to great effect as an accompanying instrument. But Streetward Rambler did not acquire it from Rex Lapis for the purpose of producing further funerary tunes. No. Each time she rang it, it was to play the tune that Guizhang composed on it. The two once clashed over their beliefs about the meaning of music. Who would have thought that with Guizhang's passing and Streetward Rambler's mourning, two tunes composed in discord would eventually become one harmonious
Vaya.
Once upon a time, Streetward Rambler also loved gatherings, liquor, and music. But after Guizhang passed, she preferred her own company. She could often be found sitting alone at a mountain summit, contemplating and reminiscing with her zither. The music would go from mournful to soothing to impassioned. Many years passed before she finally composed a melody to her satisfaction. In celebration, she played the tune to the clouds. Regrettably, one has only ever heard her play that tune once. Which brings one back to the matter you've been investigating. Perhaps it was during that performance that the ancestor of your Fontaine friend fell into the water and was saved by Streetward Rambler.
But if she was so happy with the melody, why would she only play it once?
One was also greatly perplexed by this. After suppressing one's curiosity for a long while, one finally approached her and asked why she would retire the tune after having spent so long on it. In response, she said, "Though the strings that played that melody survive, the one who inspired it is gone. Tell me, Cloud Retainer, When the one attuned to my soul is no longer here, who else could hope to understand this tune?
Aw, poor Madam Ping.
Pues
I
sí.
just remember being taken care of by you when I was young. Once the Archon War came to an end, I stayed behind in Liyue Harbor to honor my contract. Although I met Guizhong a few
Poco a poco vamos
times,
sabiendo más de la guerra de los
I never
arcontes,
knew
poca
anything
broma.
of this particular story.
Guizhong was quite the visionary. Had you not decided to search for that mystery Adeptus, perhaps these stories, too, would have been lost to the sands of time. As of now, you know the truth. That the Adeptus who rescued the drowning man was none other than Streetwood Rambler. Do you intend to discuss this with her?
No sé.
Do you mean Ping might find the topic too distressing?
Precisely. The passing of our old friend is a heavy topic that both of us are usually careful to avoid.
If I may be so bold, Cloud Retainer, could it be that this is just your own personal opinion?
Oh? How so?
I've been in Liyue Harbor for quite a long time now, and I've witnessed many farewells along the way. So I, too, am well acquainted with the pain of the passing of a loved one. But this doesn't bring the city or its people to a standstill. Someone as perceptive and wise as Ping will surely have come to understand and embrace
Ahí
this.
tiene razón, Gañú.
Though these immortal mountains have lost an Adeptus, the harbor of mortals has gained a wise elder. No loss can ever be undone. But there is always much that can still be gained.
Sí.
Ping has helped countless people, and will guide many others in the years to come. And all to whom she extends a helping hand become her friends. People she can admire flowers and discuss music with. Though it is heartbreaking to lose a kindred spirit, life goes on. Because there are new friends waiting for you further down the road.
Ganyu tiene toda la razón.
We even asked Madam Ping what she thought about adding a music festival to this year's lantern. When we get back, why don't we just ask her if she'd like to perform?
You youngsters and your imaginations.
Why don't you come with us? It's been a long time since you last spoke with Ping. And Liyue Harbor is always decorated so beautifully during the festival period.
Is not every lantern rite the same in this regard?
No, hombre,
Was there
cada año
ever
dan diferentes
anything new to
protogemas.
discuss?
I disagree. Each new day and each new year is different from those that have come before.
Si te lo pido yo, vendrías, acabamos antes,
Very
Ganyu.
well. Then one will be off. If the other old fossils have sneaked away into the city to amuse themselves, one shall soon find out.
All right. We should be getting back to the harbor as well. We don't want to keep her waiting.
Vale.
Once the Guili assembly... Say, if we planted flowers there and cared for them carefully enough, do you think that one day we'd be able to recreate the sea of glaze lilies?
No creo que íbamos para contarlo, pero voy a decirte que sí.
Allow one to take back one's praise from a moment prior. You are still far too given to flights of fancy, child.
What? Cloud Retainer? You were still listening?
One observed that you were making no effort to leave, and returned to chasten and hasten you.
Top. Es que
This
es top
time, one
este
is
evento,
departing
gente.
in earnest.
Me ha gustado mucho, lo que hemos visto de historia. Es lo que digo, es maneras de ver lore que al fin y al cabo es lo que yo creo que mucha gente nos mola. Igual que nos gustaría que avanzara quizás la trama un poquito más rápido, ¿no? Pero yo entiendo que a veces es complicado, ¿no? Por el tema del sistema de juego, a ver, es un gacha, obviamente pues hay que sacar pelas. Pero yo qué sé, jope, imaginaos por ejemplo que... Por ejemplo, la historia de la hermana, yo creo que tendrían que cerrarla en algún momento ya, ¿eh? O sea, de verdad os lo digo, creo que es algo que puede parecer un poco locura, pero es que como primer acto del personaje está bien que busque a la hermana, pero macho, ya llega un punto en el que esto es un no parar. Pero bueno, vamos aquí con Alhacén. ¡Hey, bros! Aquí estamos.
Whoa, Madam Ping and Cloud Retainer?
It appears you made haste after all. One arrived but moments before you.
Gansa.
Oh, bless my soul. To what do I owe the honor?
Miss Illuminated Bird, haven't you said anything yet?
Pues no ves que no.
Said what, precisely? And why should one be tasked with saying it?
'Cause you're the one who's known Madam Ping the longest.
Street word. Or rather, presumably, you would prefer to be addressed as Ping?
Oh, Cloud Retainer, you are uncommonly polite today.
Given that Lantern Rite is almost upon us, the weather in the city is most pleasant, and a sweet floral fragrance lingers in the air. Ganyu, please continue from here.
Huh? All right. So, this all started because we were trying to help Mr. Dvorak find the Adeptus who saved his ancestor's life. Cloud Retainer informed us that the one who played that melody and rescued the drowning man was none other than yourself.
Let me think. Yes, I do believe I recall that encounter. What a long time ago that was. I'm surprised that you still remember it. Even more astonishing, perhaps, is the fact that this story has survived this long at all, when mortal lives are so very brief. It appears that she has proven herself right once again.
Who's she?
We like to call her Guizhong. From the look in Cloud Retainer's eyes, I sense that she has already told you all about her.
Albeit reluctantly, one might add.
Oh, there is no harm done. After all, Lantern Rite's very purpose is to commemorate the heroes who gave their lives for Liyue. Although Guizhong did not live to see the splendid sights of today, she was as much a hero as any other.
So how has she proven herself right again exactly?
Once upon a time, she said to me that humans were a
Criaturas débiles que
weak form of
se va a
life,
proteger con su
that
sabiduría.
she
Toma ya.
wished, but as she interacted more and more with them,
Es lo que les pasó a los Adeptus que vimos en la historia, que poco a poco, conforme iban conociendo, ¿no?, todo el tema de los humanos, algunos decidieron apoyarlos más, decidieron ayudarles a que ellos aprendieran por ellos mismos.
She told us that to
Ahí está.
underestimate human potential would be to make a grave
Misterio.
mistake. With the smallest amount of guidance, enormous power can be unleashed in them, and a human who has reached their full potential may well be her equal.
She always had a way with words. That her mechanical accomplishments were judged superior to one's own was, one suspects, in large part due to her sheer eloquence.
Speaking of mechanics, Cloud Retainer, do you still remember that potted plant mechanism?
Of course. Guizhong and One both put an immense amount of effort into that gift. It would be no overstatement to call it a testament to each of our individual technical genius.
As Guizhong once said, it takes every blade of grass and every flower to make a homeland. When I see the site of Liyue Harbor before us today, I am reminded of this.
Madam Ping looks very emotional right now.
Después de todo, ellas vivieron muchas cosas juntas, Paimon.
Of all of us, it was Guizhong who was the fondest of these grand and exciting occasions. If she were still with us, I'm quite sure she would still be trying to best Cloud Retainer's finest works at...
Liyue Harbor is always filled with the sound of music at this time of the year. If she were here, one is certain that she would seek you out to discuss and debate the virtues of various melodies.
Oh, yeah! Music! We've been dying to ask. What was the melody that you played back then? Oh, also, with you being such a music expert and all, why don't you join the concert as a performer?
I can make arrangements right away.
Van rápido, pa, pa, pa.
As much as I don't wish to dampen your enthusiasm, it's been a long time since I played this zither. My fingers don't have the dexterity they once did.
Vaya.
And
Nos quedamos sin música,
whenever I
gente.
play that tune, it always reminds me of her. There was a period of time whenever I started strumming, it almost felt like she was back again. No matter how much time goes by, the moment that melody starts playing it...
So the past still weighs heavily on your heart?
Oh, I would be lying to myself if I claimed to have completely moved on. But that is not to say that grief doesn't get easier with time. Despite the sadness, I have found many things that bring me joy in life. It is simply the nature of the world in which we live that... Just look at this potted plant. Isn't it?
It takes an honest and open mind to confront and conquer grief.
Be that as it may, I shall leave the lantern rite stage to the youth of...
Well, if you're sure.
Granny!
Hey, Yanfei.
Whoa, what's everyone doing here? Did something bad happen?
¿Qué va, qué va? Estamos aquí hablando del ritual.
And now we've spooked Yanfei. No. Everyone's just here to give me their regards for the holiday.
Oh, that's wonderful, I'm glad. Well, in that case, happy Lantern Rite, everyone.
¡Feliz reto de linterna, Yanfei!
Happy Lantern Rite. Oh, I just remembered that I have some, work to do at Yuehai Pavilion that I need to discuss with Yanfei. I will leave Mr. Dvorak in your capable hands. Cloud Retainer, Ping, we will be off for now.
Huh? Does it have to be right now? Which case is this again? Hey, Ganyu!
It seems Ganyu still has much to learn when it comes to the art of deception.
What a pity. She has learned nothing of one's ability to carry a conversation.
Since it's been so long, Cloud Retainer, why don't you stay? I'll make a cup of tea and we can chat a while.
Gladly. This was one's intention as well.
When you next see the Fontaine musician, please give him my regards. I'd like to wish him the very best with the concert.
You got it, Madam Ping.
Vale.
Thank you all. I think you've listened to enough of my nattering for one day. As for that melody, I will play it for you all another time.
Vale, pues nos la enseña más tarde.
When that time comes, wherever her spirit may be among the countless grains of sand and specks of dust between the harbor and the mountains.
Bueno, pues nada.
Alright, let's go tell Mr. Dvorak the news.
Vamos aquí a hablar con el amigo. Ok, entiendo que podemos venir por aquí. Vamos a coger un poquito de flores de seda. Y vamos a venir por aquí de... Ay, que no lleva XIAO. digo, no va el dash y estaba con Alhacén. Tremendo. Vale, parece que esto se está acabando, gente, y toca ver el final del festival, así que vamos allá. ¡Hey! ¿Cómo os va?
Mr. Dvorak!
Señor Dvorak, ¿cómo va? Oh, qué guitarra más guapa, ¿no?
And Kuchin's here too.
Hola, Kechin.
Welcome back. Did everything go well?
Ha ido bien.
Really well. We found the person Mr. Dvorak was looking for.
Are you serious?
Le contamos todo a Kechin y a Dvorak.
I see. So the melody my ancestor heard was an Adeptus remembering her late friend? That certainly explains why it was such a powerful and poignant tune.
Huh. That's a really interesting first reaction. Guess that comes with having a musical mind.
I have to say, though, it's hard to believe that the fairy from the tale is now an elderly granny.
Oh, Paimon knows exactly what you mean. Normally, Adepti don't age at all. But Streetward Rambler, or Madam Ping as we know her, probably only became old because it's what she wanted for herself.
Madam Ping possesses vast knowledge and great wisdom. Whatever physical form she may decide to take, her mind and wits are as sharp as they come.
Yep, Kuching summed it up perfectly. That's exactly what Paimon was trying to say.
I think... yes. I must thank her in person.
Vale.
That can wait until after the concert, though. For now, I need to devote all my emotional energy to the performance.
Ah, speaking of, Madam Ping wishes you all the best with the music
Eso,
festival.
buena suerte del concierto.
Paimon has a sneaking suspicion that that she'll stay in her usual spot, but listen to the performances from afar.
Wait, are you serious? Huh. Oh no, now I'm starting to get nervous.
Tranquilo, amigo, tú puedes.
Okay, alright. Nope, another rehearsal's in order. Please excuse me, everyone.
Vale, pues parece que se va a ensayar. Oye, al final el evento este es larguito, poca broma. Pero es lore, gente, es lore, nuevos amigos y demás.
He asked us about what music means to people.
Please, share your insights with me.
It can make people happy and moved, but it can also be sad and bittersweet. And music is like a kind of memory written in people's hearts. It can put you in touch with feelings from a totally different time and place.
Qué adorable es Paimon cuando aprende cosas.
It sounds like you had an eventful trip. Don't worry, I'm sure Ganyu will fill me in on all the details shortly.
Wait, does that mean you're gonna carry on working?
Mm-hmm. Just a few things to wrap up. All the groundwork is done. As long as everyone enjoys the festival activities, all our efforts are worthwhile.
Feliz Rito de la Linterna, que chin.
Happy Lantern Rite to you as well.
Pues nada. Ay, la aventura sigue.
That should be everything taken care of, right? Oh, no, wait. Paimon feels like she's forgetting something. Shoot!
Los bambúes.
Latent...
Los brotes de bambú, tío, nos vamos a ello.
Said he wasn't in a hurry. Anyway.
Vamos allá. Vamos a buscar a Zhongli en la funeraria y a ver qué pasa. Madre mía. Poca broma, pero empezó todo recogiendo los brotes y la que se ha liado. Typically de Genshin Impact, my friend. Buah, esto está muy chulo de decorar, para el rito de la linterna. Me mola, me mola. ¡Wey! Mira, está aquí, madre mía. Jutao. Y Shin-chan. ¿Es rap?
All right, let's take a break here. Oh wow, look who it is! Are you here to hang out with everyone's favorite funeral director?
So you're just casually practicing your rapping skills at the entrance to your funeral parlor? In broad daylight?
Okay. Ver para creer.
After everything we've been through, you don't see me for a hot minute, and you're back to being scared of your own shadow. We have all this open space, a clear view of the mountains behind and the sea in front. Not to mention we have several invisible audience members enthusiastically cheering us on. It's the perfect spot to rehearse.
Invisible audience members?
Gotta say, it took me a few days to get used to Director Who's way of talking.
Xinyan was pretty spooked too when she first got here. Just like when she sees a frog, but a giant frog with sharp teeth.
Come on, knock it off.
What's wrong? I've never seen someone look so confused before. Well, don't worry, because Director Who's here to explain it all. There once was a Fontaine musician who went around town on a mission. He came door to door for his iridescence tour, looking for acts to audition. With my words, Xinyan's chorus, and Yunjin as our mentor, we'll take the stage by storm with flames roaring and the whole audience calling for more.
Así se rima, Jutao. Me ha dejado loco, o sea.
For sure. The whole dance floor will be yelling encore, encore.
Paimon, ya.
Don't you worry about that. I'm pretty experienced on the stage, and I've already informed the Yuhong of all the pyrotechnics we're planning on using.
Huh. Guess we'll just have to trust Xinyan on this one.
Jutao, ¿has visto a Zhongli a todo esto?
Oh, Zhongli. He took one of those fancy meal boxes and set off for the mountains. Said he wanted to pay a visit to some old friends. It's a real pity that he couldn't be around for this. As well as being a true connoisseur of traditional art forms, he's able to appreciate Xinyan's performances too.
Yunjin es Yao Yao.
Yeah, that's right. Matter of fact,
Vale.
To tell the truth, though, I never thought I'd really find myself rehearsing here.
Well, now you know. The Wangsheng Funeral Parlor is a great
Vais a levantar a los
location.
muertos.
All of you are up. I can speak to that. XIAO is always full of fun surprises.
And jump scares.
Actually, Xinyan, I have some lyric ideas for your part. Do you want to go through them together?
Sure thing.
Oh, Traveler in Paimon. I believe Zhongli was heading to Mount Hulao, so make sure you're hiking up the right hill. When you see Zhongli, please pass on this message to him. It's up to him whether he wants to support us at the performance tonight. You should join us too.
Vale.
It'll be a riot. If there's one thing I've learned from being a funeral director, it's...
Pues nada, vamos a... Esto no se acaba, o sea, poca broma. A ver, me parece guapísimo lo que digo que los eventos sean tal, pero es lo que digo, al final... Yo creo que el problema que hacen al hacer los eventos tan largos muchas veces es que la gente literalmente no se lee nada. O sea, me han dicho muchos colegas de tío, es que me he visto tus vídeos porque lo puedo leer ahora. O sea, y dices, claro, porque durante el evento al final te peta la cabeza y te pones a otras cosas y no lees. Así que nada, entiendo que aquí hay que buscar al Tito Zongli. Vamos a ver un poquito aquí de qué va esto. Ah, mira, ahí están. Está con los Adeptus, ¿no? ¿Qué estará haciendo el crack? A ver. Vamos allá, vamos a ver de qué va esto. Madre mía. Más de una hora estaremos, Maestro Grulla número 2. ¿Cuánto tiempo sin veros?
A familiar face. Have you come from Liyue Harbor? How is the city nowadays?
Bien.
Everything's great. But, you know, if you're so curious, you can always go and check it out for yourself.
In fact, Mooncarver has been taking many walks on Mount Tianheng in recent times. I believe the sights of the city are quite familiar to him.
Zhongli, here you are. We've brought the bamboo shoots you wanted.
Impeccable timing.
Bueno. Pues vamos a ver qué pasa con esto.
Traditionally, bamboo shoot soup ought to be slow cooked for many hours on low heat. Using Adeptus arts to hasten the process is...
Wait, that mechanism...
Sí, la olla de nuestra amiga.
Indeed. Cloud Retainer kindly lent me her supreme cuisine machine.
Can we not just call it a cooking machine? Actually, never mind. She seems to take a lot of pride in her mechanical gizmos, so it's probably best if Paimon doesn't go changing the name willy-nilly.
I trust that you found the answers you were seeking during your recent journey.
Y tanto que sí.
Excellent.
Como siempre.
The past should be remembered, but not overly dwelt upon. When the bamboo shoot soup is ready, I must insist that you try some for yourself.
Será un placer.
Oh, Zhongli, who told us
Sí, tienes que venirte a Liyue.
It's up to him whether he wants
En la
to support
actuación,
us
tío,
at
de
the
que
performance
actúa.
tonight, but I expect him to make time for the upcoming banquet we're planning. When she says performance, she must mean the Lantern Rite Music Festival. As for the banquet, she didn't tell us anything more about that, but she invited us to come as well.
As you can see, I have a prior engagement with 2 Adepti friends of mine tonight. As for the banquet, since the director insists, far be it from a mere consultant like myself to refuse.
Yay! Then we'll see you there?
Absolutely.
Vale, pues Zongli se vendrá, perfecto.
Rex Lapis, the bamboo shoot soup is ready.
Vale.
Thank you. I will examine it right away. The appearance is exquisite, and the aroma rich and intense.
A comer.
Since you came all this way, you should not leave empty-handed. Please, take some soup. It tastes most exquisite while still warm.
Pues nada, a comer sopa. Ahí está, tenemos la sopa y ahora pues toca, ojo, volver a Liyue. Ya sabéis cómo va esto, estamos yo creo que llegando al final del evento. Me ha gustado mucho lo que he visto, la verdad que me parece muy top, pero sí que es cierto, ¿no? Que es lo que decía, es un evento que tiene mucho texto, a mí me gusta leerlo y tal, pero yo entiendo que mucha gente diga que a veces pues molaría un poquito más de acción, aunque aquí yo creo que con los minijuegos hemos tenido esa parte de acción, pero claro, al final son, entre esta y la primera parte, son 2 horas de texto, gente. Bueno, vamos a ver esto, que esto es el vídeo, va, a ver qué pasa.
I'm honored to be here on the Iridescence Tour stage. All right, without further ado, I'm Xinyan, this is XIAO, and this is a little something called...
universe. I'll spit my rhymes, watch your step, or you'll get burned. Hey! Woo! Yeah!
Tremenda obra
Does
maestra.
anyone have any
20 sobre
plans
20 y
tomorrow?
God.
With another year behind us, I think we deserve a celebration of our own. My treat. Interested?
The Tianquan footing the bill? I can't miss out on that.
Master, listen!
May the year ahead be a blessed one.
I believe it shall be.
Master, the Xiao lanterns,
Ha! Elementary. One shall fashion for you a Xiao lantern the likes of which the world has never seen. And you must take it to Liyue Harbor to display its magnificence for all.
Listen! That must be Madame Ping!
Pues, ¿qué queréis que os diga? Ha dejado un continuará muy bonito, pero ha sido precioso. Y bueno, espera, que aún hay más. Viejos amigos, a ver. ¿Aún hay más del evento? Ah, no, esto es la típica conclusión, ¿no? La cena. Bueno, pues nada, vamos a ver. O sea, esto es la historia del nunca acabar. Hay que esperar a la noche del día siguiente, así que vamos a pasar el tiempo rapidito. Bueno, sí, me ha molado bastante, o sea, ha estado muy guay. La cinemática ha sido muy bonita. ¿Y qué queréis que os diga? Me ha emocionado mucho. O sea, año tras año es una cosa ya al final que todos los meses de enero, ¿no? Vamos a tener aquí esas ganas de disfrutar del festival de la Linterna. Y pues la verdad que está bastante guay. Vale, creo que tengo que hacer un día más, ¿no? Ahí está. Yo creo que así ya basta. Día entero. Y ahora vamos al papeo, que yo creo que es un poco el epílogo de todo esto. Pero bueno, ni tan mal, ¿eh? O sea, ya os digo que, a ver, obviamente pues es largo. Pero sea largo o no, yo creo que es una historia muy bien contada. Lo han hecho bastante bien. Y sí, ya vamos. Vamos a la cena, a ver. Vamos a la cena. A ver qué pasa aquí.
Oh, so that's how it is. Thanks for the suggestions, Mr. Zhongli.
I've long heard that your knowledge encompasses all things old and new, Mr. Zhongli. It is truly an honor to make your acquaintance.
No need for formalities. I too feel humbled to be in the company of such talented young people.
Oh, you flatter us. If it's possible,
May I trouble you to provide a few words of guidance for my practices in exorcism?
Exorcism? I can't say I'm an expert in the field, but if you don't mind, we could start by discussing...
Whoa, there's so many people here. All we knew was that Hu Tao invited Zhongli over. Paimon never thought we'd be meeting so many old friends. Happy Lantern Ride, everyone!
Feliz Rito de la Linterna.
Likewise. Please, take a seat.
Bueno, pues vamos a sentarnos, vamos a pegarnos la comilona con los cracks y a ver qué pasa.
Happy Lantern Ride! Are you having fun?
Sí, estoy culturizándome sobre música.
Me too. I've seen Xinyan perform before, but this is the first time I've watched something like this. I heard that the audience loved it too, and she's been receiving quite a lot of performance invitations lately. She's more busy than ever, and Yoonjin's gonna help her.
Yep, and they asked us to pass on their season's greetings to everyone. They hope we'll have a wonderful gathering.
The performance was spectacular indeed. However, it gave Xiangling a huge burst of inspiration, which...
Us? Did Xiangling ask you to try out her dishes too?
That, my friend, is beside the point. Watching you eat was enough for me. Come to think of it, I probably shouldn't have burdened Chongyun with eating my share too.
Hold on, Xiangling came up with a new recipe? Let Paimon try! See, someone here knows how to encourage people. Thanks, Paimon. Oh, and I have to thank Mr. Zhongli too. He gave me lots of useful pointers that really drove it home for me. Oh, so that's what you were talking about before we arrived.
Yes. Since we'll be dining together, the topic of our conversation naturally revolved around cooking. Xiangling's ideas are truly unconventional. Her choices in both ingredients and spices are comparable to a melody dancing on the tongue. My suggestions were nothing more than the icing on the cake.
Oh, the two of you always deliver. Now I'm getting embarrassed. Anyway, I'll get everyone to have a taste after I've adjusted the recipe based on Mr. Zhongli's advice.
That sounds like it might become a little safer to eat.
How about I sample the dishes next time?
Speaking of eating, Paimon feels like we're missing someone. Oh, Huta was the one who invited us, but she's not here. And where's Guoba? Oh, Guoba volunteered to help Dad at the restaurant. You know, lots of people come over to eat during Lantern Rite. Without Guoba helping out, I probably wouldn't have had the time to accept Hu Tao's invitation. As for Hu Tao...
The director went to collect a guest. She asked me to stay here and host you for the time being. Seems like it's almost time.
Huh? Hu Tao went to fetch someone in person? Oh, that must mean they are super important.
Pues sí.
Could it be... Kuching? Ningguang?
Beidou?
Or Captain Beidou?
She didn't clarify. And as her subordinate, I
me
couldn't
mola
just
porque
pry into the details, could I?
Morax está en plan de yo soy su subordinado. Bueno, ahí está.
Ta-da! We're here!
¿Quién? ¿Con quién me he juntado?
We're not late to the party, right? Right? Good thing the conqueror of demons and I are both
XIAO.
as swift as the wind. And whoosh, we made it just in time.
Todos flipando porque XIAO viene a socializar.
Oh. I see. So the important guest is the conqueror of demons. I've been looking forward to meeting you. The director didn't mention anything when she invited us. What a pleasant surprise. Gathered here with us tonight are not only young and accomplished individuals, but also the protector of Leo's peace, Adeptus Alatus. To convene here with all of you is indeed a great honor.
Bueno.
As expected of the parlor director, always so...
It's almost Lantern Rite, yet you took all the trouble coming here.
The director has a way of making it difficult to decline.
Rex Lapis, may I ask what troubles you?
The director asked me to buy sesame oil in preparation for the celebrations.
Huh. Then why would you come all the way to Wangshu Inn?
I had a pleasant chat with Chef Yanxiao and received some spices from him. And, see? Here's some matsutake and a portion of ham.
What about the sesame oil?
It's a shame. I couldn't find the kind the director was looking for.
Esto ha sido muy raro.
I'm sure you're exaggerating, Zhang. Sir.
There he goes again. Enough with the pleasantries. Go let our guests take a seat. Everyone here today is well known in their own field and has probably heard about one another to some extent. Some of us are even old acquaintances, so there's no need to be this formal. I heard that the Conqueror of Demons and the Traveler are pretty close, no?
Sí, somos amigos desde hace mucho.
Great. You two sit together.
Vale, vente, XIAO.
You should take a seat too, Director.
Oh, finally remembered me. When we arrived just now, the host at Xinyue Kiosk told me our dishes are almost ready. Perfect timing. Let's not wait any longer and ask them to bring out the food.
Pues a comer, gente, a comer. Madre mía, sirven la comida y un delicioso aroma invade el lugar.
Paimon would have never guessed the person who Tao went to fetch was XIAO.
Oh, that's also the first I've heard of the Traveler and Paimon being friends with the Conqueror of Demons.
You know Xiao Chu?
Knowing is a bit of an overstatement. I've always looked up to him. You might not know this, Paimon, but we exorcists have worked in close collaboration with the Conqueror of Demons for many generations. Hard to imagine that thanks to Hu Tao, I've finally gotten the chance to meet him. Conqueror of Demons, I'm honored to make your acquaintance.
Vaya.
Likewise.
It is a great honor indeed to have a chance to meet the legendary Conqueror of Demons. Chongyun has brought that name up quite a few times in the past. I remember you mentioning wanting him to understand the importance of exorcists.
We know each other too. He helped try my dishes during the Masterful Chef's cook-off. I didn't think we'd have the chance to meet again. Happy Lantern Rite.
No anecdote, however, compares to meeting you in person. I'm Xingqiu, Xiangling and Chongyun's friend. The pleasure is all mine.
Whoa. Everyone's getting all formal and polite all of a sudden. Adeptus XIAO, mighty Conqueror of Demons. Please accept Paimon's greetings too. Belated Happy Lantern Rite.
¿Cómo que con antelación?
Paimon tried very hard to look for a fancy word, okay? Don't be too harsh on Paimon!
Vale.
There's no need to be so polite.
You're right. This was meant to be a nice little get-together between friends after all. I didn't plan this gathering only for everyone to walk on eggshells.
What's your true intention then?
A little get-together between friends, sipping the finest tea and watching lanterns float into the sky, bidding farewell to the past and embracing the present with joy. And that is something our consultant would say. I think it deserves a standing ovation.
Vaya.
Indeed. Exceptional acting skills, Director.
As for me, I'm just here to have fun and treat everyone to something good. We all worked really hard this year, whether traveling or guiding, cooking, helping with the family business, exorcising evil spirits, and of course, our consultant, who's been helping out at the parlor every now and then. Everyone has done some pretty amazing things. As the one who brought everyone together, it goes without saying that I'm the one most deserving of praise.
Huh? Sounds kinda self-important, but Paimon thinks it's pretty amazing that she managed to talk XIAO into coming. He rarely ever enters Liyue Harbor after all.
Siento curiosidad por saber cómo lo consiguió.
It wasn't as complicated as you think.
Vale, volvemos al pasado. Hace poco, otra vez en la posada de Guangzhou.
Okay, gotcha. Thanks, boss lady.
It's not boss lady, just boss. And there she goes. What a lively girl.
Conqueror of Demons, Adeptus XIAO. Guardian of Wangshu Inn, hero of Dihua Marsh. I know you're there.
Hey.
Quiet. Do not disturb the peace.
Sorry, but you wouldn't show up if I didn't yell your name, would you?
I know you. You're the 77th director of Wangsheng Funeral Parlor. Is there something you need?
Y parece que volvemos al presente. Madre mía, qué manera de contar esto, ¿eh?
That does sound like one of Hu Tao's antics.
Did the Conqueror of Demons agree to come so that Hu Tao would stop pestering him?
There might be other reasons.
Smart guess. Huh? There's more to it? It gets pretty boring from here on. I talked about the funeral parlor's past relationships with the guardian yakshas. You know, just to be sociable.
In the time of the Archon War, disputes were frequent, and disaster overtook the land. Humans couldn't escape from the torment of the plague, nor could they escape death. The Adepti vanquished the demons, the Millelith fought valiantly, and Wang Sheng Funeral Parlor was responsible for purifying the diseased and sending off the spirits of the dead. That is how the border between life and death was maintained during the war. And it effectively prevented further incidents from happening.
That's right. 1 point for the consultant. But despite our deep-rooted connection, it still took me quite a while to actually convince him.
¿Puede que estuvieras preocupado por su karma?
You know him pretty well,
Sin
huh?
voz, poca broma.
This matter is out of my control, so I need to be cautious.
True, but I've kept that in mind too. That's why everyone here today is in one way or another acquainted with elemental power. Besides, it'll only be for a short while as we dine together. There won't be any lasting consequences.
But I didn't expect there to be so many people.
There's no need to worry, Conqueror of Demons. We're not feeling anything unusual so far. Our young exorcist over here is protected by his pure yang energy, so he's probably the most resilient.
That's not the same. And did you just toss your carrots into my bowl? Hey, don't look away.
Huh? What?
I'm siding with Chongyun. I saw that too. You're lucky Guoba isn't here today. He hates seeing people being picky with their food. If he'd seen that, he'd definitely make you eat all your carrots.
Huh? Guoba would do that? But now that I think of it, Xianglin told me that Guoba used to be the stove god.
It sounds like you've heard the rumors.
XIAO, ¿estás bien? Hoy hablas todavía menos de lo normal.
I'm doing fine. Not long ago, before Lantern Rite, I met an old friend. Thanks to his help, things have been a lot more stable than before.
¿Un viejo amigo?
You should know him. He's...
Seeds of story, brought by the wind.
And cultivated by time. Did Paimon just unconsciously complete that saying?
El
That
bardo.
voice.
Seguro que es...
If I'm not mistaken, there's someone knocking at the door. Don't just sit there, Zhongli. Go welcome our guest in.
No such need. I'm coming in.
¡Oh! 20, ¿no? Bueno. 20 y sus entradas
You
espectaculares.
finally let me in. Hello. No matter if we've met before or not, this moment marks a brand new encounter.
Oh, it's the tone-deaf bard.
Oh, he seems to carry a valiant breeze wherever he goes. It looks like we're gonna be friends. Fate has brought us together, so come on, take a seat and be my guest. Help yourself. Oh, I'll ask them for another set of cutlery.
This young lady here is as bright as a fresh bouquet of flowers in the morning's rising sun. Whoa, these dishes look amazing. Is it really okay for me to join in? All right, I'm digging in.
Huh, it's you.
Oh, isn't this Genyu?
Genyu?
Ostras, 20, que vas a decir el nombre de pluma de Shinkyu.
Yep. Now that I've taken a closer look, you're a fan of Genyu's works. I met Xingqiu at a light novel convention. How I wish we'd met sooner. I never expected that there'd be another person in this world who could interpret Genyu's new novel as thoroughly as I could.
Venti, you're being too humble. Considering your poetic talent, your fundamentals are way more impressive.
Could this new guest be Master Xingqiu's friend?
También es conocido de XIAO.
Yes. Monsters become more active than usual as we get closer to Lantern Rite. I was patrolling Dihua Marsh a few days ago, when I happened to run into this...
Con este...
You've already forgotten? I'm a bard, and bards go around singing wherever they like.
Oh, right. And this bard was performing in Dihua Marsh. It was a moving melody, and it made me feel relaxed and at ease.
Thank you for your patronage.
Entiendo, es difícil resistirse a las canciones de Venti.
I understand now, too. I'm Zhongli, currently working at the Wangsheng Funeral Parlor. It's a pleasure to meet you, new friend.
And I'm his boss. Oh, and if there's anything unsatisfactory, let me know anytime.
That's very considerate of you.
Oh? No wonder. Only a boss as savvy and reliable as you would be able...
Oh, you're too nice, Venti. Not to brag, but our consultant truly is impressive. His knowledge extends across the stars.
Bueno,
and
aquí
the
todos
land.
nos estamos tirando
There's nothing throughout
florecillas,
history that he doesn't know. From the sophisticated way he speaks, it's hard not to suspect that he could very well be an Adeptus in disguise. Xiao, you're an Adeptus. Do you think it might be possible?
Sorry. I'm only good at conquering demons. I'm afraid I don't have much knowledge in that matter.
Me encanta Xiao.
Really? But Paimon thinks you're super knowledgeable.
Paimon, sigue el juego.
Huh? Xiao's a warrior. He doesn't come to the city very often, so it's,
Really? I've actually heard a few things about Mr. Zhongli before. The guests in the tavern talked about this refined and courteous man who, instead of having wine at Mondstadt's finest tavern, ordered a cup of hot tea with the most complex name.
Now that you mention it, I seem to recall that there indeed is a musician like yourself in Mondstadt. I've heard that he's elegant and amiable, his works witty and vibrant. It's no overstatement to regard him as the best bard
Madre
in
mía, las
Mondstadt.
flores que se están tirando todos,
Now you're making me embarrassed. I would say that Mondstadt's poetry is a little run-of-the-mill sometimes. There's one I heard a while back that went, The old house is renewed, welcoming the spring breeze, awakening old memories. The meaning's there, but the word choices are unimaginative, and there's a distinct lack of literary flair.
I think so too. The composition needs a little jazzing up. If I were to give it a go, I'd make it an old melon on a vine, a new flower that grows fine.
Oh, good one! It feels unique and has a nice ring to it.
You have great taste, Venti. I was right about you. Let's shake hands.
Of course.
Hey, Shincho. Mind lending me a few books when we get back? Pick out some well-written ones. I don't know if it's my own lack of literary knowledge.
I don't think it's your fault.
Changyun's right. It's not our fault.
Paimon, esos dos pueden servirte de inspiración para tus apodos raros.
Oh, you have a point. But speaking of, why is the tone-deaf bard here? Are you here to take part in Lantern Rite too?
I heard that Liyue will be hosting a Lantern Rite music festival this year. Getting to know other musical styles is essential to sparking inspiration, don't you think?
Pero la organización del concierto no se decía hasta el último momento.
As for the Fontaine friend who hosted the festival, I saw him near Stone Gate the other day. The Iridescence tour has finally been held successfully for once, so I had to congratulate him.
Gracias, seguro que él también se siente muy agradecido.
Don't think anything of it. By the way, I was watching as you entered Shinyue Kiosk. Should I say that it's because I'm an expert in hiding, or that a certain someone deliberately ignored the sound of the wind?
Whenever Lantern Rite comes around, Liyue Harbor becomes bustling with activity. People are all busy watching the lanterns and strolling around the shops, and they might just go travel somewhere on a whim. It is rather difficult to predict another's whereabouts. The festival is in full swing and proceeding smoothly, and we're all gathered here with friends, new and old. This is no doubt a wonderful occasion worth celebrating. To come together with all of you at the beginning of the year, one can't help but be filled with joy. In a moment like this, I propose we raise a glass together.
¡Brindemos!
Very well said, Mr. Zhongli. Now I'm getting a little self-conscious. I didn't cause you too much trouble barging in like that, did I? We usually drink wine during occasions like this over in Mondstadt, but since Mr.
Espera, el bardo de pacotilla brindando con té.
You're welcome.
Locurón.
As the host of this gathering, I hope everyone enjoys the food and drinks. May this year be better than the last. Considering that everyone may have other matters to attend to later, sticking to tea seems like a good idea.
Vamos allá.
They started proposing toasts.
XIAO.
What's with the urgency?
¿Ya comiste? ¿Te apetece ir a un paseo?
Have you two finished eating? It's always nice to have a breath of fresh air after a...
Paimon will come too.
Te has quedado con hambre, ¿no?
Yeah?
No pasa nada, volveremos enseguida.
Okay then. Don't forget to come back.
Vale, parece que podemos ahora salir y entiendo que pasará algo, ¿no? A ver. Me está flipando el evento, ¿eh?
Are you all right?
Esa pregunta debería hacértela yo a ti.
It's hard to describe.
Nunca fuiste a un encuentro como este.
It's not that. There were those among the Adepti who loved gatherings and idle chit-chat. Sometimes they would call up a few others for a drink. The Adepti all have their specialties, making most of them proud and arrogant. But this time...
La gente... vale. Ya veo, esto es culpa de Zhongli.
That's not what I meant. Or perhaps I should say Rex Lapis is really good at adapting to human life. And that's something I might never be able to do.
XIAO, tú tienes que ser tú mismo, nadie más.
That does sound like something you would say. No matter. I know my circumstance. Whenever I think of the ordinary conversations I've had with you, it feels strangely novel.
¿Debería tomármelo como un cumplido?
Yes.
Vale.
The parlor director went out of her way with the invitation. So it was... She told me that all the guests today would be acquainted with elemental power. But I didn't expect the other guests to be...
Nadie lo habría imaginado.
General Capices always said that we should live in the present and enjoy every pleasant surprise. Perhaps, but I think he meant designing clothes for those around him. The clothes were intricately designed, but inconvenient to wear. Brother Bosacius never tried to hide his distaste in front of him. Rex Lapis did like his designs and even collected quite a few. The outfit he wears now was also designed by General Capices himself. I never saw him wear this during the war. I didn't expect him to start wearing it later.
Oh, here you are. I'm not intruding, right?
You're not. What is it?
Hu Tao saw that everyone's done eating and asked the staff to bring out the desserts. Paimon got so anxious that you weren't back yet that she scarfed down her dessert without the usual slurping and munching.
Uy, vamos dentro.
To be honest, I was kind of worried too. You looked a little restless just now, and I thought you weren't used to the food here and was planning to head back to Wangshu Inn for something Yanxiao made.
You're worrying too much.
XIAO, no nos lances tu ciclón de viento estático ahora, ¿eh?
Why would I? Anyway, let's head back.
Please wait. There's another reason why I came looking for you. Here, take these.
Almond tofu?
Yup. Since the Masterful Chef's competition, you could say that Yanxiao and I are not only competitors, but good friends as well. I heard him say that the esteemed guest on the roof loves nothing more than a good plate of almond tofu. I'll be honest, before Hu Tao invited everyone, she secretly came looking for me. So I made a few servings of almond tofu for you guys in advance. Take them as a token of gratitude for your support. When I told Guoba that I was making these for you, he started eagerly running around the kitchen and helping a lot too.
Gracias a los dos, son los mejores.
Thank you for the trouble. There was no need to... I'll take them. Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, the almond tofu I made probably tastes and feels a little different from the type Yanxiao cooked.
Okay.
That's all. Alrighty, we should head back now. We can't keep Paimon waiting.
Vamos para adentro. Pues ya lo habéis visto. Lo que digo, esto al final poca broma, pero es larguísimo, O sea, madre mía, el evento. Yo creo que ahora viene cinemática, ¿no? Pues no, aquí aún estamos con esto. Brindemos, gente.
much for promising Paimon you'll be back soon.
En realidad fuimos rápidos, la verdad es que tú no tienes noción del tiempo.
How could you say that to Paimon? In that case, besides having no sense of time, your dessert is all Paimon's.
Sorry to keep everyone waiting.
¡Oh! Ha dicho sus palabras.
No worries, we're all just chatting here. There's no serious business. Whether we're chatting outside or inside, it's all the same.
Paimon, mira cómo Jutao no se preocupa.
Paimon's too busy eating to talk to you.
But even though we're all well acquainted by now, I think this festive gathering deserves something ceremonious.
Oh? Is this some local custom?
Nope. This is something I made up so that good luck will be on our side, that's all. Spontaneity is the best choice to make here. Let's use this incense burner on the table. It's been lit for so long now that the incense is running out. I'll leave refilling and lighting the incense to the most distinguished guest among us all. Lighting the incense will signify continuous growth and prosperity in all our endeavors in the new year.
I see. Perfect symbolism, as expected of Hu Tao. And speaking of the most distinguished guest here today, I'm sure we all agree that it's Mr. Zhongli. I'm not very familiar with the details of his past deeds, but chatting with him has been a real eye-opener, even for a bard who has traveled all across the world. If knowledge were a form of power, one could even say that you're a wielder of unlimited strength.
But when it comes to having a way with words, the notable bard is certainly one cut above the rest. I just happen to have a good memory. It is such an unexceptional skill, yet you made it sound like an unparalleled talent. I am truly impressed. Since we all get to nominate someone... I think it's only fair that we let the parlor director light the incense.
Huh? That won't do. Don't flatter me just because I'm your boss. We are looking for the most distinguished guest here. As the host, I shouldn't be involved in this discussion at all. Now that we've enjoyed this table full of delicacies, how about we let our one and only chef here do the honors?
Is this really the way this works?
It's not a big deal. Just look at her. Xiangling, the disciple of an Adeptus, the stove god's best companion, the winner of the Masterful Chef's competition, the only heir of the famous Wan Min restaurant, a good old friend of mine. There's no better choice.
Why does Paimon feel like we're back at square one again? Please stop! You're making me embarrassed. If we're looking for a distinguished guest, surely the second son of the Feiyun Commerce Guild counts. It's one of the largest commerce guilds in Liyue Harbor.
Huh? Don't get me involved in this.
Ooh, not a bad choice. With the Commerce Guild's young master lighting the incense, we're all sure to make a huge sum of mora in the new year.
That's not how it works. Making a fortune is indeed a fine wish, but it's of lesser importance than good health and happiness. Which means we should choose Chongyun, the skilled exorcist who keeps everyone's home safe from evil spirits.
Huh? Now you're nominating me? I can't be the one when we have the Conqueror of Demons right here. Adeptus XIAO has the most seniority among everyone here today. We should...
I refuse. I am most certainly not the most distinguished guest here. You should all be able to make the right judgment based on your observations. One person here is well acquainted with everyone else.
Oh, that's right! Even though you're always mocking Paimon, you're still pretty popular with other people. No, wait! Paimon said she wouldn't talk to you again. Huh? Who else is there? Huh? Huh? Does that mean Paimon's the most distinguished guest? Oh, well,
agree. Paimon's just the one we need. Without a friend constantly by your side, a long journey would become dreadfully lonesome. But once you have someone there to brighten up the atmosphere, everything along the way will become lively and vibrant too.
Ah. The traveler has traversed many nations and left behind a great deal of fascinating stories. But without Paimon, they would have become quite monotonous. Paimon plays an indispensable role in making your journey a happy and smooth one.
You guys, Paimon's not used to being praised like that. Those were genuine compliments, right? Thank you. You made Paimon wait for a long time, but Paimon's not mad anymore.
Don't take everything to heart, Paimon. Friends tease each other all the time.
That is indeed...
That means Paimon is as important to the traveler as Guoba is to me. Looks like we've come to an agreement. Any objections before we proceed?
I trust the traveler's judgment.
Then Paimon it is. And now, the world's most excellent traveler's greatest companion, guide, and friend, Paimon, will be refilling and lighting the incense for us. Here you go. Take the match, and don't burn yourself. But if things go really wrong, here's the 2-for-1 coupon. It's getting late. I won't take up any more of your time. You're all free to go as you please.
Yep, the tea was amazing too.
You don't have to go all polite on me. Just remember to come when I invite you next time. Let's see. It's dark out, so I'm going to accompany Xiangling, Xingqiu, and Chongyun back home. As for the rest of the guests, I'll leave them to our consultant.
No need. I'm headed towards the harbor to meet a friend on the ship. There's no need to trouble one such as Mr. Zhongli. I think you know the place I'm talking about. Come meet me anytime. It was great getting to know you all. Let's meet again when the spring breeze begins to blow.
Bye. Oh, we should write poetry together sometime. We'll catch you all later then. Don't forget to return to the parlor later. There's something I need you to do.
Understood. See you later.
Rex Lapis.
Just Zhongli will do. I live as a mortal in Liu Harbor now. I am just one among many. If we were to consider status and seniority as Zhongli, I should be respectfully referring to you as Adeptus XIAO.
Heaven forbid. Not you too.
I meant what I said. I heard that during the Lantern Rite Music Festival, you conferred with Streetward Rambler and Cloud Retainer. The same truth will sound different coming from different people. As more bear witness to a story, feelings and interpretations expand in variety too. I once had a pleasant chat about the past and present with a Sumeru scholar. From the evidence she found and the conclusion she made, her area of research is already very close to the truth. But there are multiple sides to humans and gods alike. In the legends recorded by humans, some gods were depicted as arrogant and condescending. But whether to me, Streetward Rambler, Cloud Retainer, or younger adepti such as XIAO and Ganyu, those adepti and gods that may seem extraordinary to humans are something more akin to close companions. This was as true back then as it is right now. Just how XIAO may seem unapproachable to most, but the traveler has proved otherwise. So there's no need to dwell too much on certain things.
Zhongli, what you're saying is...
It looks like you understood what... The director asked me to accompany you on your return. But I don't think you'll need my protection. I'll be taking a walk around and admiring the night scenery. After that, it'll be time for me to go back and meet up with the director. Goodbye for now.
Bye, Zhongli! Everyone's gone now. Paimon always feels a little empty inside when a lively celebration ends. But at least you always stay by Paimon's side. No. Paimon got it mixed up. Paimon, the best and most distinguished travel guide, will always stay by your side, traveler. Good that you're aware of that, XIAO. Is there anything else you want to do? We could take you on a tour of Liyue Harbor.
No need. I've stayed here for much longer than I had expected. The city lights are a fine sight, but it's time for me to leave. The events of today occurred so abruptly. I appreciate your kindness. Okay. I'll see you next time then.
Y bueno, espero que os haya gustado el vídeo. Lo que digo, no voy a entretenerme mucho más con palabrejas, así que simplemente pasadlo en grande, disfrutad de la vida, dejad el buen like si os ha servido tener este evento aquí guardado en el canal, y nos vemos en el próximo vídeo. Adiós.